Howdy, Possum Patty here, and today is Saturday, and I had a little bit of a play today with wood and fabric. Come on along. You might remember the day I hauled from the Dollar Tree 2 wooden boxes, and this is going to be a treasure chest for Stanley and his little rock collection. And then I was going to decorate this box. It was plain, just like this, and put my butterfly stickers in here. But then I got to making these mushrooms the other day. I was like, okay, I need a place to put these for right now. And I saw this box over there on the shelf, and I said, well, why don't I just go ahead and paint this? And for now, I can put my mushrooms in here. And mostly I've been making these in the car and at the hospital visiting Mom. And that's as many as I got so far. I would love to fill this up with just all mushrooms and then use these as ephemera or to slip into Happy Mail. So I'm going to show you a little bit more about how I made the mushrooms, just how I cut them out and sewed them in the car, and how I put together this box. And look how sparkly and shiny it is. And the inside is lined with butterfly paper, and the bottom is too, and there's a little butterfly on each side, and lots of sparkle. And look at these gems. Don't they just go perfect with the black and sparkly box? So let's go back to the beginning of the day, and I will show you how I progressed with this box. The very first thing that I did to my butterfly box was to add this green foam to 2 sides of the inside of the top lid, because the lid was a little loose and I didn't like the way it wobbled so much. And you just buy these in sheets. I think these are from Walmart. Kids do projects with them. And now I am painting it black with acrylic black gesso. And I really didn't have an idea, a plan. I sort of sat down and stared at the box. And this jar of black gesso was like right in front of me. I'm like, what if I make it black? But I make the butterfly colorful so it stands out. And then these are also on the table here. And this is like a sticky roll of black gems. And I thought maybe I would put this around the edge or something. What I'm doing right now is just putting a little bit on the bottom, because I cut this gorgeous butterfly paper to put on the inside and on the bottom. And I didn't want the little wooden edge to show, so I'm just going to paint around the edge. And then I'm going to be gluing some paper on. And I've got to glue those gems on. And then I have to paint the butterfly. And that might be it. Oh, I'm thinking about maybe something for the sides. Now this paper, let me close this up for a minute. This butterfly paper comes from this Michael's Paper Pack Butterfly Study, Étude des Papillons, en français. And I'm cut enough to put one on the bottom and line the inside. Just the bottom piece now. This is the bottom piece. So I'm going to put some glue on here. Going to be using the tacky glue, I think. And that's a lot of glue, but where's my spreader? Spread this out a little bit to the edge. Just pop that on there like that. All right, now it's going to be a little bit harder to glue the inside pieces. I could maybe put the glue on the paper. I got to determine which colors I want to make the butterfly. Now I know it fits in there because I had it in there before. Alright, see now that's a little too big there and I thought I trimmed it. And that's a little too big there. Okay, now if there's a little of the wood showing, I'll just go over and paint that black. I'm not going to worry about that. And I'm going to do the same thing to the other three sides. And think about, if I want this to sparkle or not. Alrighty, so far, so good. There's the inside with the beautiful butterflies. And I put some on the bottom. And I'm thinking that I will put one little butterfly on each side of the box. And I got the lid on there because I want it to be below the lid. So I'm using that as a measurement. And then I'm going to put a little bit of sparkle Mod Podge all around it. But I'm going to glue the butterflies on first. There's a blue one. I tried to pick the blues and the greens. And I think what I'll do, like I have that one going that way. I'll have this one going that way. Like that. And then in this corner here, I'm at the end of my glue stick. Put one over here. It doesn't really want to stick. I might have to use some tacky glue. It's sticking? Nope. It is not sticking with the glue stick. Oops, that one's a little high. Push that back a little bit. And one more. I'm going to put the sparkle Mod Podge on first. And then while this piece is drying, I'll come back and work on the butterfly. Now this should dry clear. Keep our fingers crossed that that's going to dry clear. I'm going to take you down below the table. Here we go. And there's Miss Titi's blanket. And here is my bucket of paint. And here is a bucket of chemicals. And I have some watercolors and some palettes. A lot of sparkly ones in here. And some more watercolors and some more palettes because you know I need lots and lots of colors. And here's my acrylics. And this is the gouache that I'm going to try, but I haven't tried yet, but it's on my list of things to do. And the acrylics that I got at the flea market. So I'm gonna grab some of these. Oh, I got some pencils in here. I think those are my Inktense pencils. So we want blues and greens. And I'll sort them out when I put them up on top. Ooh, maybe a purple and another green. Little Miss TT's down here too. She gets too close, I can't take her picture. Alrighty, so we'll wait for the Mod Podge to dry on the bottom. And this is Renaissance Gold. I thought I'd do the middle of the butterfly Renaissance Gold. Handy dandy pliers. Wow, that was really on there. I don't have a plan yet, besides the body being gold. Let's see what kind of colors I can get. This is Windsor Blue. And that is, what is that? That is Phthalo Green. So Windsor Blue, Phthalo Green, Permanent Light. That's nice. So I've got my palette with some blues and greens and one purple and some Renaissance Gold. And I started in the middle with the gold on the body of the butterfly. And I don't have a plan yet. So when you don't have a plan and you don't know what you're doing, you just say, I'm working intuitively. And then you sound knowledgeable, even though you have no idea what you're doing. But I'm really loving this gold and black and sort of teal combo here so far. Isn't that pretty? I like that. Might want to use that somewhere else. Now, what would look good next to that? Ooh. That's a little bit lighter to some of these other colors. We'll go green or purple. Let's do a little purple here and see what this looks like. So when I squeeze the teal out, I squeezed it hard because I thought it was come out very slowly. And I got a big blob there. So I buy a lot of wooden things at the Dollar Tree. And I always don't get around to painting them. Oh, but you know, in my Mermaid's Tail Beach journal, I used magic markers, not magic markers, I used markers, watercolor markers to paint it. But on the box here, I'm using acrylic. Okay, it's gonna get noisy here in a minute because I think the sun came out. Mr. Possum went outside to mow the lawn. So I think I'll just go ahead and paint this and come back and show you the finished product. Okay, I'm going to let my butterfly dry. I've already dumped all the mushrooms in there, but you can see how gorgeous that is. And doesn't that just match these stones? Look at that. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And these are the mushrooms I've been making out of tiny scraps. Each one's a little different. This one actually has a mushroom on it. It's got the blanket stitch around, a couple of little beads. This one's got the gold netting and a couple little patches on it. This is a big one. Got the gold netting down there and one patch on it and some beads there. That was a big fat one. There's another big one. And on this one, I didn't put any stitches on the bottom because I really like these brown flowers here. So I put the gold netting on the top and 3 little beads, and I did a blanket stitch around, and I left, you know, the printing that comes on the material because it says Cranston Print Works, and I want to look up this company and see if they're still in business. Because this is a vintage material I got at the flea market. Here's a little tiny one. I showed those the other day. Here's a bigger one. I did put gold netting on this one and lots of patches and beads. And this is a taller one. And this one I did a little different too. I put a flower on this one. Instead of a lot of stitches, I just went around the edge with a little bit of white thread. So they're all a little different. I want to get some more different colors and things in here. So I got quite the collection. And then I'll be using them as ephemera and in Happy Mail because mushrooms are just perfect for the fall. So let's look at the top here. All right, what am I going to do? Should I put Mod Podge on here? Should I put Mod Podge on the butterfly? Should I put Mod Podge on the whole thing? Oh, you know what? Before I do that, there's like little burnished lines, and I sort of lost that effect when I painted it with the acrylic, so I'm trying to bring it back with my Sharpie. And you can see the black line a little bit there. Not a lot. Oops, there's bound to be oopses. Bound to be lots of oopses, for sure. I don't even know if you're going to notice this when I get the Mod Podge on there. But I would like to have that black line back. Well, the original line wasn't black. It was like a wood burn color. I bet you they stamped it and cut out these holes at the same time. Okay, now next time I go to the Dollar Tree, I have to look for another one. Because I remember that I was making this for my butterfly stickers. But now I've got my mushrooms in here. And if they don't have one with a mushroom, I believe there's one with a plain lid on it. And I can draw a mushroom on it. Oh, I could wood burn a mushroom on it. Oops. Like I did with this, I did wood burning on here. I can just wood burn a mushroom and then paint it like I did with that cover there. And then I'll have one box of butterflies and one box of mushrooms. I like that. I like that. I like it. I like it. I think I need to do the Mod Podge before I put this on. And I was going to put it on this side. So I can't do that yet. So I'm just going to go ahead. I've got my Mod Podge here. And this is Sparkle Mod Podge. And this is my Mod Podge brush. And I'm just going to go ahead and cover this entire thing. Do the top first because I have to hold it by the sides. Okay, we will do the top first. And that white did dry very clear, as you can see. Good thing I went under the table because I found stuff. Yes, I did. This vintage material that I got at the flea market. Love that one. These are from earlier, but these browns and blues and greens. Now these are perfect to fill up my little mushroom box because I'm trying to go with some fall colors, orange and brown and blue and green and gold and like a russet red, things like that. So these are going to be perfect. So I'm putting this in my little mushroom traveling bag. Yes, I haven't made any birds in a couple days, but like I said in the other video, I did make a bunch and give them out to the sisters, and I'm waiting to see where they're going to put them. I only heard from one sister so far. And then all of a sudden I got into doing like a little fall activity. I will make more birds of prey, definitely. Actually, I've got one sitting over there that has to go out. It is finished. And now I found some new fun material. And I might throw in a pink and green one too. Or mix the pink up with the brown. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, so there's going to be lots more fun mushrooms coming up. And I would love to just fill this box up with really fun mushrooms. And then, like I said, use them as ephemera or stick them in Happy Mail and just have them ready to go. So I'm going to stick it in here. This is a very simple travel bag. I only have a few pieces of floss in there. I've got my needle threader, some beads in there. Got some small scissors. And basically that's all I need besides some pieces of material. I do have some gold mesh in here. And yes, I have been cutting these in the car on the go. So, you know, I'm not using a pattern or anything. And what I do is I cut one side and then I fold it over and sort of kind of trace it on the other side. I can show you how I do that. So, see, I'm waiting a couple minutes for the box to dry, the Mod Podge. Oh, let me show you this. And then I'm going to show you the prints that I made. And I only made a couple because I just wanted to use the paint that was on here so it wouldn't go to waste. So I picked 2 pieces of material. And I was using this heavier canvas material for the back. This is a bit heavier. And I think the colors go well for the back of the mushroom. Now, I did not try to hide the stitches at all. I just sewed through both layers. Now, I know I could have sewn one layer and then put the 2 together and then sewed around the edge. But I didn't do that. No, I just made them flat and put the stitches right through. I just wanted it to be easy and simple and fun, and this is what I enjoyed doing, so I did it. I was showing these to my niece, and She's like, oh, you should make some stuffed ones. I said, yes, stuffed ones would be really fun. I said, but these are to go like in mail and in the journal, so those don't need to be stuffed. So I take this, you can see one mushroom there. Actually, I probably need to find another piece of this. And this is like upholstery material, very tough, very strong. So I thought it'd be a really good backing. And you can use any kind of felt or strong material that you want to. Oh, I gotta go with this. I don't know which one to do first because I love both of these. All right. This is in my hand. I will use this. So I'm riding along in the car. Picture this. I'm riding along in the car, and this is on my lap, and I'm trying to eyeball. And Mr. Possum is yelling, "Bump!" because there's a lot of construction, and they put out signs when you're going to hit the uneven pavement. So he yells, "Bump!" I don't even do this much. I do less cutting than this because, as you can see, I cut the mushroom like right out of this without cutting the square. So basically, I want something like this, and I'm just eyeballing it. I'm eyeballing it as I'm riding along, and I've got that one facing out and this one facing out. And then, you know, sometimes I go with a skinny stem, and sometimes I go with a fatter stem. And they're all different sizes. And then when I get to a point that kind of looks like halfway, I just take that and fold it like this. And hang on to it. Hang on to it. Oh, this is really funny. So we're riding along. And I've got one cut out, and I haven't put any stitches in it yet. And it's sitting in my lap, and for some reason, I opened up the car window a little bit, and it went flying. And I found one, and I never found the other half, and I'm thinking, it must have gone out the window. So Mr. Possum said that he vacuumed the car and he looked all over. He couldn't find it. I thought, well, that's all right. I mean, you know, it was just a piece like this. Now, I shouldn't have bent that too much in the middle like that. Make this a little smaller anyway. That's about right. So now I've got, see, all these little bits like this all over the car. And Mr. Possum's like, I'm going to have to give you a tray if you're going to work in the car. Yeah, and he did look for my mushroom. He couldn't find it. So it blew out the window. Somebody will find it. All right, so, and that's it. And then, you know, I might take another piece of material and, or the mesh, and just add a piece on, and just any kind of stitching. They're all a little bit different. Each one's got its own personality. It's whatever I pick up, whatever I do. So I will just put this in my case here, and this will be ready to go. I'll probably put a couple of patches on there, maybe a little bit of gold, some beads, some stitching, and not worry about the back. So that is ready to go. What if I take some of this and put it on a gel plate? Oh, there goes the lawnmower again. Let me close the door. So let's see now. I've got an awful lot of this. I get an awful lot of this. Today I'm a unicorn, tomorrow I'm a mermaid. This is my wipe-off book. I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing in this book, but whatever it is, it's going to have some colorful pages. All right, now I was thinking of using this mushroom stamp. Does it fit on there? Not the way it is. Let's see. I was wondering if I can get them all on there. Sort of. Sort of, but not quite. Oh, I'd like to put that on some brown paper. Brown paper, brown paper, brown paper. I found some brown paper. Now, if you use acrylic paint on your stamps, you really do need to wash them right away. Before that paint dries on there. Oops, gotta move that one a little bit. I don't think I've used these yet. Oops. Look how nice that looks on that brown though. Okay, I'm going to let this dry, and then I might put another color on top of it and then take a pull. And let's put the paint over here. And let's put a piece of paper on there. And maybe we have to let it sit a while. I guess you gotta have some patience when you do this. All right, the big reveal. Well, it's coming off. And very subtle, very subtle. You can see the mushrooms. This will be a good background for something. I thought I would like it on the brown, but I think the white really brings it out better. So I do like this one. This will become a painty paper background for something. And I love the aqua and the purple. This one's pretty good too, and this is also on the white. And this is very, very subtle, but if you shine it in the light, you can see the gold mushrooms. I don't know if that'll come across on the camera. And then this is aqua with the gold on top. And this also is so subtle that you have to turn it in the light to see the mushrooms. And then I did stamp with the stamps after I took them off the jelly plate. And this was just like a clean off paper. And I cut these to ATC, artist trading card size. And now I just have a bunch of these. And it's a good beginning for a little card. These are also a good size to put pictures on. My pictures that print out of my little camera there. They're like perfect. You know, put in a pocket in the journal. That one didn't have too much on it, but that's okay. I can add to these. And this is just with the paint that was left on the lid because I didn't want to waste it. So I'll add that to my pile. So I like that. I'll go on here like that. Very shiny. Very sparkly. Very sparkly. Now, I'm going to get this stuff on there. See, this is not quite dry because it's not clear. Must be a big blob there. Wipe some of that off. All right, so what glue? I guess I should use this one. All right, how am I going to cut this? So many questions. What glue? How am I going to cut this? So I'm going to put a line of, and this is beacon glue like Fabri-Tac. There is some stickiness on the back of the tape there. Oh, I got this tape at Temu. And I can link my code below if you would like a discount. And I think you just take it and stick it down. Like that. Is that all you do? I think that's it. Pretty fancy stuff. All right, so there you have it. The box is almost dry. And I love it. And I did get a little bit of painty paper done with the leftover acrylic paints. And it's a good thing I had the gel plate under the table. And maybe that's a good place to keep it. So whenever I have a little bit of blobs of extra paint, I can just grab something right away and just use it on something. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's Saturday play. I got wood, I've got fabric, and even a few pieces of paper. And I have to be careful because the glue is still wet on the box. It is drying. And I hope you enjoyed your Saturday. Thanks for coming along today. Bye-bye.